Hello and welcome to IndianExpress.com, and today we are doing a long-term review of the Apple Watch Series 8. Now, I've been an Apple Watch user since the time of the Apple Watch Series 3 and I used it for quite a while. In fact, I had two instances of cracked displays, I repaired them, I still continue to use it. But this year was the time when I finally decided to upgrade to the Series 8. But is this series really for you, and should you even consider the Apple Watch? Here's my long-term review. First, let's start with the newest feature on the Apple Watch Series 8, which is the temperature sensor, and it's geared towards women. Of course, it can also record the basal body temperature for men as well if you're using it, but it is geared towards women because this is designed to help keep a track of ovulation in women's menstruation cycles. Now, keep in mind, Apple is saying this is not to be used as a method of birth control. And basal body temperature is your temperature when your body is at rest. You can see all of the data when in the health app. You can just open up the health app and see all of the data from the Apple Watch for temperature out there. Is there going to be another use for the temperature sensor? We're not sure. Apple hasn't mentioned anything about that. Can you use this to say figure out whether you have a fever? I wouldn't say so. It's not yet recommended, but maybe it can give you a bit of an inclination if you are looking at all of that data. Now let's talk about what it's supposed to do, which is to help track ovulation. It predicts when a woman might be ovulating, which is the most fertile period in your menstruation cycle. Now I found this to be very accurate. Keep in mind that you will have to wear the Apple Watch to bed at night for this to work. You'll have to turn the sleep mode on the watch and then wear it to sleep. I'm not a fan of wearing watches to bed when sleeping, but I've made an exception for the Apple Watch Series 8 for this particular reason, and I found it to be mostly accurate. Now remember, I've used it for 2 or 3 cycles and the prediction for ovulation has been very accurate. But I also want to caution that this is because I have a fairly regular menstruation cycle. If you're someone, say, with severe PCOS, you don't have a regular cycle, then of course the results could vary for you. But still, it can give you some indication, some extra data for your menstruation cycle overall. But more than the temperature sensor, what really excites me about the Apple Watch Series 8 has to be the battery life, and that's something that's made me really happy. Here's the thing, when you get a fitness wearable, one concern is always that you'll have to keep charging it. That's another device to charge. But with the Apple Watch Series 8, I can easily get by with an alternate day of charging, or actually more than an alternate day. And Apple is of course promising around 18 hours of battery life, but you can, with tempering your notifications, you can actually get a little bit more. I've been using this for workouts. There's notifications coming in from my SMS app. I've turned off notifications from WhatsApp on my watch. But there's a lot of activity that I'm using the Apple Watch for every day. And yet I find that I don't have to worry about charging this. And if you are on the Series 3 or even Series 4, this might be one of the biggest reasons to upgrade. Remember, Apple has also introduced a new low power mode. Now this is actually being extended to watches up to Series 4, and this can overall extend the battery life further, especially if your battery falls below 10%. And it does turn off some functions on the watch, but you don't really need them. And if you have the low power mode, I think you can easily get another 2-3 hours without if you don't have a charger, and make it through the day. Another reason why I still prefer the Apple Watch has to be the screen size. The 41mm screen size is just right for someone with my slender wrist. Of course, someone with a thicker wrist might prefer the 45mm, but I feel that this is just the right screen size. The watch doesn't look too big on you, and if you're a woman, it might appeal to you more. Of course, one reason why you might want to buy the Apple Watch has to be the fitness side of it. And Apple Watch Series 8, of course, most Apple Watches actually do a pretty comprehensive job on that front. They cover most sports modes, be it swimming, badminton, your daily walks, of course, your daily steps, how many times in a day you stood up. And I've been using it mostly to track my strength training sessions at home. The data is pretty accurate with the Apple Watch Series 8, and I must say that it is a good feeling to actually close your rings for the day. If you're someone who's into fitness in a very big way, say you like to do hiking and water sports, you might actually consider the Apple Watch Ultra. But for most regular users, say who are just working out at home or do the occasional walks outside, I'd say the Series 8 or even the SE2 might just be good enough. Now, when it comes to the smart part of the Apple Watch, I'd say this is still the device to beat. Now, I've reviewed a lot of fitness trackers, smartwatches over the years, be it Android or those that work with Android and iOS, and I'd still say the Apple Watch does things very conveniently and seamlessly. Whether it's notifications from your phone, taking a call, making a call from the phone, it just works, especially if you have an iPhone. So yes, If you are an iPhone user, this is probably the best companion watch that you can get. With the Apple Watch Series 8, you're also getting the ECG functionality as well as blood oxygen monitoring. That's something that's not available on the Apple Watch SE2, which is more affordable. But do keep in mind that if you're someone younger, you don't really need that feature, and this SE2 might just suffice for your need. I also want to mention that the Apple Watch keeps a track of a lot of fitness parameters. For instance, with me, it warned of low cardio fitness when I just started working out again. I was going on these walks after like a gap of 2-3 months, and the Apple Watch detected that not everything was right. Now, this is based on your VO2 max levels, and I would say it was fairly accurate. Of course, this is something that can be improved once you are exercising more regularly, but it is interesting the number of data points that Apple Watch will give you around your health. No doubt, the Apple Watch remains the device to beat, especially in the department of getting the right mix of smartwatch and fitness watch. If you're an iPhone user, I would say the Apple Watch Series 8 is a great companion for it. But not everyone really needs it. Now, if you're someone like me who's holding on to their Series 3 or even Series 4 for a while, it might be time to upgrade. Now, if you're still on the Series 7 or even Series 6, I'd say you can wait and see what happens next year or maybe 2 years after that before you decide to make a change.